It's an all-new episode of 106 in Sports from executive producers LeBron James and Maverick Carter. Now, this is a new top 5 countdown show with host Ashley Nicole Moss and Cam Newton. They're going to be breaking down the top moments in sports, culture, and entertainment. And they're even going to highlight both established pros and the stars on the come up. We love a star on the come up. Watch the all-new series 106 in Sports Wednesdays at 10/9 Central on BET or catch up the next day on BET+.
Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. What's up?
T.I. needs a versus, okay? Because you got a whole era of people who think they know, but they have no idea. And the young man, Marco Plus, was up here this week talking about T.I., one of his favorite rappers. We're going to say J. Cole is the king of the South. J. Cole.
Yeah, but who does T.I. do a verse against?
I don't know. I just know T.I. needs to do a versus.
There's nobody that's in the same realm of T.I.
Not realm, but I mean, there's people that can do verses against him. It's just
like who?
Rick Ross could do a versus against him.
He did one already.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he already did one. I don't know. Like,
who did he do it a versus
2
with?
Chainz.
Against 2 Chainz.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Gucci and Jeezy already did it.
What about Wayne? Did Wayne do one?
Wayne hasn't done one. T.I. and Wayne would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That'd be fantastic, actually.
All right. Well, let's start off with some quick sports. Now, last night, the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers 6-1. They lead the series 3-2. Now, on Thursday Night Football.
It's the first time Toronto been up on L.A. all year on anything. Okay, Toronto ain't been up on L.A. in a year and a 2 on anything.
Well, congratulations to Toronto.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Not over
Finally.
yet.
Okay.
Now, Thursday Night Football, the Ravens take on the Dolphins on Prime Video at 8:15. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, NBA. Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this morning?
Mimi.
Morning.
Good morning. All right, well, we start this morning on day 30 of the government shutdown, and what began as a fight in Washington over healthcare subsidies has now spiraled into one of the longest and most painful shutdowns in modern history. Federal workers are missing paychecks, air traffic controllers are working without pay, and now millions of families are preparing to lose access to basic needs like food assistance and childcare. The SNAP program, which helps more than 42 million Americans buy groceries each month, it is set to run out of funding starting Saturday. That means children, seniors, just everyday Americans could soon go without help to put food on the table. Now, Republicans say they want to fund the program, but they are blaming Democrats for holding it up. Let's listen to Speaker Mike Johnson.
On Saturday, this gets very real. SNAP benefits will stop flowing to all those who need it. You're talking about tens of millions of Americans at risk of going hungry if the Senate Democrats can continue this gambit. Instead of taking a simple vote to fund the government, which Senate Democrats have now had more than a dozen opportunities to do, Democrat attorneys general are suing the federal government to try to compel SNAP benefits to flow despite the government being closed and despite the fact that there is no money to do that. Congress hasn't authorized that. The contingency fund for that was something they batted down when the Democrats decided to vote against the CR and shut the government.
Well, Democrats, they say that's not true. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says there is an emergency fund that the administration could tap into if they wanted to, but they are refusing to do that. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Johnson just lies, plain and simple. It does not cost $5 or $6 billion to administer. There's enough money to start feeding people right away. $6 billion's a lot of money, and they're using it for other things. $20 billion for Argentina, hundreds of millions for Kristi Noem's plane. Who are we kidding here? Dang. The bottom line is they can fund it just as in 2019, just as in other shutdowns, for a long period of time.
And they also, if the contingency fund, which is $6 billion, which gets you nearly a month, 3 weeks, runs out, then they can pass Senator Lujan or Senator Hawley's bill, both of which we support. We know that there'll be 60 votes for that. They're not calling it up because the House isn't here to pass it. That's the way it works. The House would have to come here. They probably would have to vote on the Epstein files, but they're choosing to let kids go hungry instead of having to vote on the Epstein files. There's no doubt about it. They have been out for 6 weeks on vacation.
I don't understand why, when we had a Democratic president, why they don't put some type of policy or law in play that if the government shuts down, people still get their benefits, right? Because they could have done that years and years and years ago, correct?
Well, this has never happened.
Right? Am I tripping?
No, because people are not getting paid. They're saying people are not going to get their benefits on Saturday.
That's what it's about. That's not what they're arguing about, the emergency fund? Isn't that what that is?
That is exactly what they're arguing about, the emergency fund. Because what they're saying is in 2019, there was a government shutdown. People still got their benefits. It's never stopped. They're saying that Trump is doing this on purpose to impact Democrats and to make them want to cave, basically.
No, I get that. But if it was a law or a policy, they would automatically.
Are you talking about laws
paid.
with Donald Trump?
You're right.
You don't follow laws,
right.
bro. What you talking about? What you talking about laws?
Touche. You're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
though.
So you're right. There's no such thing when it comes to this administration, it seems like. But when we're talking about paying the military, apparently the Trump administration says that they will pay the military. I believe their paychecks are supposed to come tomorrow. So there's some emergency funding that they were able to find for them.
That's crazy.
And we spoke about that $130 million donation earlier this week, Charlamagne. That is from a longtime Trump donor named Tim Dunn. He says that according to Trump, he stepped up to help with payroll costs, but that is still all a short-term fix, not a long-term solution. So we'll see whether the military will still get paid after next month. They say that is still up in the air, but they should still receive a paycheck tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And as the shutdown continues here at home, President Trump is making global headlines overseas. Now, just hours before sitting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Trump announced that he's restarting the U.S. nuclear weapons testing, something the United States has not done since 1992. In a post on social media, the president said he has redirected the Pentagon to immediately begin testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other countries, specifically naming Russia and China. Now, Trump wrote the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country, adding that much of America's arsenal was modernized during his first term. He said Russia ranks second, China ranks third, but predicted that China could catch up within 5 years. Now, if this follows through, if the U.S. follows through, it would mark the first nuclear test in more than 3 decades, a move analysts say would likely be viewed as a major show of power and could heighten global tensions. So that is something definitely to continue watching. All right, well, coming up at 7, why your phone might get you in trouble before the day is over. We'll tell you about the unexpected text you might get today and why it's best you should probably ignore it.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent some things on your mind, call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Last night, the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers 6-1. They lead the series 3-2. And in Thursday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens take on the Miami Dolphins. Also tonight in Philly, Delaware State, coached by Deshaun Jackson, ex-Philadelphia Eagles, is playing Norfolk State. Of course, Michael Vick is the head coach for that. That's going to be in the Eagle Stadium. I'm not sure the name of it, but
How much Eagle Stadium hold?
a lot.
Oh, that place going to look empty tonight then.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What?
Damn.
It hold like 80,000 people, right?
I think like 50,000.
No, got to be more than that. All I'm saying is,
60,000, yeah.
You should go out there and, make it look bigger. Make it look big. Like, what I'm saying? I hate when I watch these HBCU games and they play in these big-ass stadiums and people don't show up the way they supposed to.
43,000.
I'm looking at it now. It says 69,000.
Yeah, like
Really?
60,
At Citizens Bank capacity?
No, Lincoln Financial Field.
Lincoln Financial, where the Eagles
okay,
play.
my bad. That's
69.
42,000.
Yeah, a little bit over 69,000. 69,596 to be exact. Fill that field up, man.
They're not going to fill that
Delaware
up.
State,
But
Norfolk
they might do
State.
first tier, second tier. Like, and then, shade off the third and fourth tier.
Oh, okay.
God, you'll see tonight. I hope it's packed. You know what I'm saying? Delaware right there by
lot of
Philly.
people, though.
That's what
It
I'm
is a
saying.
lot
But
of
make it look
people.
packed, man. Make these HBCU games look packed. Especially if it's gonna be on TV.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
what I'm saying. I hate that when you look at it on TV and it don't look packed at the HBCU. Go out there and support, yo.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, I hope it is packed, but I'll be there tonight, though. I'm going tonight. But what's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Hey, Mimi.
Girl.
Good morning. All right, well, we start this hour in Jamaica where Hurricane Melissa has left catastrophic damage and heartbreak in its wake. Now, part of the storm system now blamed for at least 30 deaths across the Caribbean as it moved towards the Bahamas and Bermuda this morning. Now, Melissa slammed into Jamaica on Tuesday as a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest storm in the island's history, with winds reaching up to 185 miles per hour. Entire neighborhoods were torn apart. roofs ripped off of homes and power lines down nearly across the entire island. Now, this morning, more than 25,000 Jamaicans are sheltering in schools and churches turned into emergency shelters, and roughly 80% of the island still remains without power. At least 4 people have died in Jamaica. That's according to officials. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared a national disaster, saying the government is fully mobilized to rescue residents and deliver food and supplies, but communication blackouts and flooding have made that nearly impossible in some areas. In St. Elizabeth Parish, the town of Black River, one of the hardest hit areas, local officials are still shocked by the damage. Let's listen to some of that.
Jamaica has gone through what I can call one of its worst period. Our infrastructure has been severely compromised. St. Elizabeth is the breadbasket of the country, and that has taken a beating. The entire Jamaica has felt the brunt of Melissa.
Well, the government says it hopes to reopen airports today to speed up those relief efforts. The United States is sending rescue and response teams. That's according to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. And yesterday afternoon, Melissa, it weakened into a Category 1 storm with sustained winds around 90 miles per hour, moving northeast. It went to Cuba and then the Bahamas. And from there, it's expected to move to Bermuda sometime late today. So
yeah, salute to everybody in Jamaica, man.
Yeah,
Them relief efforts gonna be real. They gonna need it.
Absolutely.
I talked to people that say it's only one half of the island, though. Is that true?
They said it's in spots, but majority, they said it touched every part of the island. Of course, some places are worse than others, but it definitely touched every part of the island.
Gotcha.
And they said hurricane season lasts till mid-November, right? So
Yep.
they can get some more. So yeah, pray for definitely everybody in Jamaica.
Absolutely. And now to Illinois, where another community is searching for justice this morning after a verdict in a case that's drawn national attention. So a former sheriff's deputy has been convicted in the fatal shooting of Sonia Massie. She's the 36-year-old mother of 2 who was killed inside her own home after calling 911 for help. Now, Sean Grayson, a former deputy, he was found guilty of second-degree murder in 2024 for her death. Body cam video shows Grayson confronting Massie in her kitchen after she reportedly called for a possible prowler. She was holding a pot of boiling water when he told her, "I'll shoot you in the face." Seconds later, he did exactly that. Now, her family, including her cousin and her father, they spoke to the media after the verdict came down yesterday. Let's listen.
I'm fueled by rage right now. If you get an officer that says he's going to shoot you in the face, and then he shoots you in the face, and you only get second-degree murder.
He showed no remorse. He was so cocky throughout this whole trial until today. That knocked the smirk off.
Now, that last bite was by her father. Prosecutors say that Sonia, she posed no threat. She actually tried to apologize and set the pot down before she was shot. Now, Grayson, the ex-deputy, he testified that he believed that she was going to throw the water at him, calling it a tragic mistake. Now, under Illinois law, second-degree murder carries a sentence of 20 years in prison. And with good behavior, they say he could be out after serving around half. Now, this case, it drew even more scrutiny because records show that Grayson, he had bounced between multiple police departments without ever completing probation. He was kicked out the Army in 2016 for misconduct following a DUI with a gun. And so that revelation, it sparked outrage, and it led way to the Sonia Massie Act, which was signed into law in August for the state of Illinois. And what that does is it requires tougher background checks and stricter vetting for officers with red flags to prevent them from slipping through the system. So,
man, what I hate about me is that I get so desensitized to this stuff. I forgot all about Sonia Massie until you just told us that the police officer got convicted. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these cases and why they're so easy to get swept under the rug, because there's so much outrage when it initially happens, and then it just cools off, and then so much other stuff happens in the world that you just forget about these situations.
Absolutely, Charlamagne. I think a lot of people were saying that they actually forgot about this case, and then the verdict came down. So we wanted to definitely highlight that. But after some of these heavier headlines this morning, let's lighten things up for a minute. So today is National Text Your Ex Day.
Damn!
So yes,
Please,
that is a real thing. Yes. So every October 30th, it's a day meant to reach out to your ex and say what's been left unsaid. But let's be honest, so for most folks, that's probably a terrible idea, but it started as a day of closure, a chance to apologize, make peace, or even reconnect. But experts say before you hit send, ask yourself, is this really about healing or are you looking for trouble? Online reactions, they're split. Some people say they're proudly posting their screenshots saying, I did it. Others are saying, don't do it because it's a trap. So whether you are team text them for closure or team delete their number forever, today's the day that you'll probably find out if a lot of that therapy you've been taking is really working.
And this is like adult relationships, right, Mimi? Because it's not like, like I've been with the same woman for 27 years. So any ex I got is from high school or something like that. So it's not like you would even worry about nothing like that, right?
No. This is just like if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, y'all broke up a couple years ago, you wondering how they're doing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I had an ex say something wild to my mama and Piggly Wiggly. I'm still pissed off about that right now.
Piggly Wiggly. Just said that.
Because I'm like, why are you talking about something that happened 30 plus years ago? You ain't got nothing else to talk about.
When was this?
It was over the summer.
Damn. Well, that's because you're not the same Linda McElvey that she was in school. So she like,
and that person is not the same person that they was. So don't be telling nobody that we used to have relations. Okay.
Hey, yo.
Damn. People still use stuff like that against you now, man.
That's crazy.
People go to people's Facebook and be posting pictures, man. Be sending pictures to you, be like, boy, you used to be with this.
Hey, yo.
My goodness.
All right, y'all, really quickly, though. Okay, so quick question. If I say 6'7", what do y'all do next?
6'7".
Thank you, my people. Okay, so dictionary.com has named 6'7" the word of the year, although it's not really a word, right? It's like they say it's like an expression.
I still do not know what it means. Never heard it. Only heard these people up here say it. I don't even know what it means.
Like either or. Like,
okay.
Maybe, all right?
Okay. Where did it come from? Do you know, Mimi?
It was a rapper. I can't remember the rapper's name.
Yeah, some of the rappers' names, and then like Gen Alpha has kind of like just taken over, and they use it for everything now. You can't even put 6'7" on a building or say 6'7". It's just a whole thing now. And so dictionary.com said it is more popular this year than it is last year. So they have named it the word of the year. So basically, though, it's like what happens when nonsense takes over and it makes a whole new
That's
language.
exactly what it is.
The dictionary is very unserious now. And what's so funny? When I didn't know what 6'7" was, so my 10-year-old used to be saying it, and I thought it was like, I'm like, there ain't no angel numbers. Like, I'm like, why you keep saying like, why y'all get so excited when y'all say 6'7"?
And they get super duper excited. The temperature be 6'7". I'm like, all right.
See, y'all be excited when y'all say it. People that come up here and do interviews, they say it. I be just sitting over here like, what is that?
And we just like to do like this, because you know what it reminded him of exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay, weighing testicles. You're so funny.
Gay, yo.
I didn't say it was gay. I didn't say nothing about gay. Now you brought up gay.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow the Black Information Network and download the free iHeartRadio app. Visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?